What's up, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here, Cheesehead TV. After the Packers take care of business against the San Francisco 49ers, obviously a wounded team coming into Lambeau Field without their defensive star, without their starting quarterback, a number of other guys banged up. The Packers did exactly what they are supposed to do. They took them to the cleaners. Absolute domination for the most part of a team that surprisingly did not seem to want to lean on Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if he's still dealing with residual effects from his long-term injuries, but I really expected the 49ers to get off the bus running the football, and they really didn't seem to have much interest in going that route. They certainly were productive in spurts on the ground, but for the most part, the Packers shut down everything that was on offer from the 49ers. Obviously, they had the one touchdown drive, which was mostly due to a incredible trick play that I think we saw in the Super Bowl last year. But clearly, this is a team not firing on all cylinders, doesn't have most of its talent available, and the Packers made them pay, which I understand. I've already seen some grousing about, this is a team that the Packers absolutely had no business even allowing a touchdown to, or, the Packers have all these problems. It's the NFL. They get paid too. The 49ers did make plays at times. But overall, this is a game the Packers did exactly what you would expect a team that has postseason aspirations to do. They absolutely took care of business from the opening drive, marching right down the field and scoring a touchdown, setting the tone early, and setting the tone with Josh Jacobs. Over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. What an amazing performance from a phenomenal free agent signing. I know the Packers don't often dip their toe into the free agent waters, but not only did they get an incredible productive night from Jacobs, they also got Xavier McKinney back on the field, making pass breakups on 4th down, big interception. Though I will say, shout out to Brandon Allen. He had a number of times where he had the ball in receiver's hands, Deebo Samuel being the most prominent, that just sailed through his intended receiver's hands, arms, what have you, and ended up as positive plays for the Packers. So you got to take advantage of that, though. And the Packers most certainly did. Complimentary football on display all evening long. You absolutely love to see it. And before I get to your comments, lots of people piling in already on the chat. Thank you so much. 5 for 5 in the red zone from the Packers offense today. Just everything that we have talked about all week long regarding what they really needed to work on coming out of that Bears victory. Got down to the red zone 5 times, converted all 5 times. 4 for 4 from goal-to-go situations. That's pretty phenomenal. Absolutely love it. What's going on, everybody, in the comments? So good to see everybody. Let's get to your chat questions now. Kevin, thank you for being a Carry the G Club member. Appreciate you. How about them Packers? Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. How about them Packers? And when you say them Packers, that includes all the Packers, especially a lot of the favorite whipping boys, whether it was Lucas Van Ness with a monster play, whether it's Quay Walker with a big tackle for loss, whether it was, Dontavian Wicks with a big catch over the middle, Keyshawn Nixon causing a fumble with a punch-out. It seems like every internet whipping boy took turns making big plays today for the Green Bay Packers. You love that. Ed, what's going on, man? Not as sweet as a playoff win, but still so very sweet to beat the freaking Niners. Very much agreed, Ed. No doubt about it. Cheeto, what's going on, man? I get key players are out for the 49ers, but hard to believe they would make up the 4-touchdown difference. We poured it on and made them our bitch. This run game should have been there and wasn't. Yeah, again, I was very surprised that they did not commit to the run in a real meaningful way. I mean, the Packers were up 10-0, and the 49ers, I think, were on their 3rd possession, and McCaffrey was averaging like 2 yards per carry on 3 attempts or something like that. That was very surprising to me. I thought, again, for sure, that's how they'd approach this one. Mimsy, what's up, man? One postseason demon exercised. Arizona next. I mean, one thing at a time here, man. Matthew, I totally agree, sir. I will never feel bad for beating a team, regardless of injuries. That is the correct feeling, sir. John, thanks for the super chat, man. Overall, good game by Love and the D, but this team is great when they run the ball. Another Toyota-thon win. I mean, it was unfortunate there at the end. Obviously, the end of the first half, a big drop by Watson, and then they have the 2 more kind of shots down the field. That was really the only stretch where I thought it felt a little frustrating on offense, but for the most part, they moved the ball. I thought the 49ers did a really good job of hemming Jordan Love in the pocket. You saw him break contain a number of times last week in Chicago and make some big plays because of it. The 49ers were ready, and they did not let Jordan Love step up in the pocket, step out, and escape. They hemmed him up really well throughout the day. Pack owner, what's up, man? I just hope Kittle enjoyed this trip. Go Pack, go. Yeah, go Pack, go the fuck home. Isn't that what he said? Brian, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. To what extent did 10 show growth today? Go Pack, go. I think he did in the sense that we saw him again taking the check down when it was on offer. He did try and fit it in once or twice. I think ill-advised throws might be the phrase to use there. There was one he checked in, he talked about in his press conference that he just didn't see the flat defender on the one he threw underneath to Watson. Watson did a great job of playing defense on that play. I think he looked in command of the offense. There's no doubt about that. He wasn't asked to do a ton. I mean, I think overall on the day, it's a typical Jordan Love game, right? He's 13 of 23, which isn't a great percentage, 163 yards. So it's not like he threw for a ton, but it's 2 touchdowns and it's a rating of 107.7. And think about what it would look like if Watson had caught that ball, which was perfectly placed. I thought Jordan had a good game. Very good, solid performance at the quarterback spot today. What else we got here? Joe, what's going on, man? Good things happen when Tucker Kraft gets the ball. Needs it more. Packers 25-5 in regular season from Thanksgiving on under Matt LaFleur. Let's go. We're getting ready for that stretch. And it is a brutal one schedule-wise. It is a hard road that the Packers are about to travel down with 2 Thursday games, trip out to Seattle. But this was the first step, taking care of business today. Joey, what's up, man? There you go, LVN. Love to see that play. What a play it was, too. Beating the tackle, who's obviously a backup, and then getting the running back on him and tossing him aside. Watching him toss McCaffrey like a rag doll and then turning to get after the quarterback and causing that fumble. That's a big-time play. Now, I don't know how much we can expect that type of play on a consistent basis going forward, but tonight, man, he gets to soak it up because that was a phenomenal and pretty much the play that swung it and allowed them to stick the dagger in the 49ers with the following touchdown. Saul, what's up, man? Packers with no turnovers and less penalties. Hopefully it continues. Yeah, the one that really stood out tonight was the Chris Brooks personal foul penalty. You cannot do that. I know the initial block attempt is fine, but when he sticks his leg out for the trip, that you absolutely destroy your chances in that situation because now they ended up at 2nd and 25. You know, it's so brutal. That was the one real tough penalty on the night. But for the most part, I think Sean Ryan had a false start, things of that nature. But for the most part, they played a clean game. You absolutely love to see that. George, what's up, man? How are you? Is Love asked to be a game manager, or is he dealing with a wide receiver core trying to get right still? I don't understand what game manager means, man. Was Tom Brady a game manager? Because that's what Tom Brady did. He managed them to 6 Super Bowl victories. The Patriots, that is. I mean, I don't get that term. He played a really good game of football at the quarterback position. That's what I saw. And yes, sometimes the receivers let him down. There was one that was a bit behind Dobbs, but it was a wounded duck coming out. But there was also plays where, Christian Watson drops what should have been a touchdown. That's the game of football. It's never going to be perfect. I thought he just played at a very high level. Jocelyn, what's up? Shout out Carl Brooks, fumble recovery way downfield. Carl Brooks with the hustle. And he made a number of plays. He had one particular play where he blew up the line of scrimmage, reset the line of scrimmage like 1.5 yards back, and did so while containing McCaffrey and not allowing him to get outside, made him cut inside towards the help. That's one of those plays that won't go on the stat sheet, but it was an outstanding job from Carl Brooks, who I think is playing better and better as the season goes on. Nick, what's up, man? How them spotted cows treating you, Nags? They're treating me so very well. Absolutely. Simitovich, what's up, man? All pro safety, all pro running back, all pro punter, all sides fired perfectly. We can win a game on any side of the ball. Please keep this game playing going forth. Yeah, I mean, look, you love how McKinney really responded to a down performance in Chicago. I don't think I'm saying anything unfair. I think he'd agree with that. He responded with a really good game against a hated rival and a team they absolutely needed to bury, which they did. And I think, yeah, there's no question. You look at the job Daniel Whelan is doing. I mean, every time he launches it, you're flipping the field now. Now, maybe at points you're going to get a little bit back if you're a return team because of the sporadic coverage, but man, Whelan is such a weapon. No question about it. What's up, Jason? How are you? Chad, how are you, buddy? Thank you so much. We're going on a run for the rest of the season. Correction, continuing a run. Mark it down. Marking it down. Okay, Chad, it is marked down. Saul, what's up? Thanks so much. Packers with no turnovers and didn't commit a lot of penalties. That is correct. You got to love to see it. Michael, what's up, man? Sorry if I missed this elsewhere, but what are your thoughts on going for it on 4th and 1 in the 4th? Go, Pack, go. I mean, Matt's trying to win the game, run the clock out. And look, he could have kicked a field goal and put more points on the board and didn't. So I have no problem with that. Like, I don't think it's anything that Kyle Shanahan would have done in the same situation. So, yeah, I have zero issues. She said, Joey, I don't care if the 49ers were injured. This was therapy. I feel you, brother. I absolutely feel you. John, how are you, man? Matt LaFleur, Coach of the Year, must happen. He's beyond due. Yeah, he's always overlooked, and he will continue to be because lots of times he wins games like this or even ekes out a win in Chicago, has the 2 wins with a backup quarterback, and a third where the backup quarterback has to come in. And those are all really good resume builders for Coach of the Year. But then when you have big divisional matchups that, a lot of the country is watching and you get curb stomped, i.e. the Vikings and 49ers, the Lions, though they did make it a game against the Vikings, that lingers in people's heads. And until he wins one of those big matchups, prime time, good opponent, it's going to continue to be elusive. And he has to string some of those together, I would think, But, hey, man, I'm with you. I agree. He has been criminally underrated. He should be in contention for Coach of the Year this year, no question about it. But most of the time I see these lists and, articles, and I rarely see his name mentioned. I think he's going to continue to be underappreciated in that regard. Braden, what's up? Turkeys and shirtless nags in lot 1 on Thursday. All right, slow down. Herm, what's going on, man? Love your work. I'm headed to Lambeau Thursday for the game and the in-laws. Can you help with a tailgate lot to park in? We're smoking a turkey for all to enjoy. I wish I could, man. I'm sure the chat can help you out. I mean, I just walk over to lot 1. I do all my tailgating here at Corey's, so I haven't really had to worry about a spot to tailgate in years, decades, really. But I'm sure, like I said, someone in the chat can help you out. No doubt about it. Dave, how are you, man? Glad you made it to Green Bay for this. Super cool to see you get to hang with family and friends. I get to watch every game with my dad and 2 best friends. That's what it's all about. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Dave. That's very much appreciated. And I, do cherish the idea that I'm going to finish here. I'm going to do good, bad, and the ugly. I'm going to say goodbye to Corey, and then I'm going to go down and be with my dad. I'm going to stay at his place tonight. And I love that, girlfriend's flying in on Tuesday. We're going to have Thanksgiving together with the family. And then she and my sister are going to the game Thursday night while I do watch party. Family affair, baby. It's going to be a lot of fun. Is there a watch party on Thursday? Yes, Troy. There absolutely will be a watch party Thursday night. We always talk about how we are here for Packers fans worldwide. Most people, I understand, will probably be with their families and won't be watching the watch party. But we know there's lots of people who can't be with families, or maybe, whatever, are overseas, can't see the game, what have you. We had a ton of people talking about it today. They were in Europe or wherever, and they couldn't get the game, and they were using us as their conduit to the game. That's why we do it. That's why we're here. We're doing it Thursday night, Thanksgiving night. Hope you can stop by because it's always a lot of fun. Bradley, get well, Romeo. Yeah, brutal to see him come down with that concussion after getting interfered with. Hopefully, it doesn't bode well that it's a quick turnaround Thursday night game. Every head injury is different. You never want to speculate because these guys all heal up at a different rate. You remember, the one that always pops to mind is watching Davante Adams get absolutely cheap shotted by a Bears linebacker and thinking on a Thursday, I believe it was on a Thursday night, and thinking there's no way he's going to be ready for the next game, which was, I believe, against the Cowboys. And then he was there that following week, ready to go. So you never know how guys respond. And hopefully Dobbs is back sooner rather than later. Going to be a cold one Thursday night, low in the low teens. I know, Colin. Trust me, I've been telling everybody in my family, this is one of those, multiple layers, get the parka out, get the real super extra winter gear going. Yeah, 100%. Going to be a cold one. Did you read anything into LVN not getting the start over Wooden? Snap counts are similar across him, LVN, and Igbare. No, that's just how they operate. It's how they've always operated. It's so very, very rare that a guy, even if with a first-round pedigree, just gets automatically bequeathed a starting position. I don't doubt for a moment that his big play tonight should start to get him maybe a little bit more run. Maybe he does get the start, but I don't read too much into it. I mean, it's just the way they have kind of divvied out the snaps. Simon, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. Love the win. So satisfying. Closing Niner window for the playoffs. Even better. Go, Pack, go. Yeah, that's the other thing. The fact that as great as it feels to have the Packers at 8-3, seriously sitting pretty when it comes to playoff positioning, you flip it around, and this essentially, not totally completely, but essentially ends any hopes for the 49ers and their attempt to get back to the postseason. Am I going to enjoy the Schadenfreude? You damn right I am. No question about it. Oh, Carolina, that's very kind of you. Nags, your coverage of the game last Thanksgiving was delicious home cooking while I was out of the country. Thank you so much. Like I just said, that's literally why we do it. We just want to be here for Packers fans, sense of community, and that sense of community was never been more apparent than yesterday at the meetup. So many Packers fans from all over the place talking about how Cheesehead TV connects them to the team. Really appreciate each and every one of you that came out because that was a lot of fun. LVN had a sack, and so did Gary. Yes, they did. Absolutely. Isaiah says, concussion protocol is a 5-day return to play. Not necessarily. Not always. Not automatically. Depends. It depends. We shall see if he's in the protocol. He might be cleared by tomorrow morning. We shall see. Nick, what's up? What's the over-under on Butterburgers this trip? You know what's so fun? I haven't had one since I got here. You got to step up my game tomorrow. 100%. Is Dobbs' loss play a factor on Thursday? I mean, you saw Malik Heath step up. Jordan Love gave him a shout-out in his post-game presser. Big touchdown catch. They're going to need it. It's next man up. And look, we saw this last year. Coming down the stretch, guys started to emerge, make plays. We saw Bo Melton get involved today. Malik Heath get involved. Those guys are going to be asked to do more. And I do think Malik Heath can step in and do a lot of the stuff they asked Dobbs to do. He's not a perfect replication. Obviously, Dobbs is a very talented receiver. But, man, that's the depth you always hear about. Well, now it gets to step up. That is the whole point of the roster they have constructed. Tulio. LVN made a play. Yes, he did. It was very exciting. Wicks made a catch, too. Yes, Jim. Yes, he did. I was talking earlier. All the punching bags, all the Packers internet punching bags, all made a play today. It was absolutely beautiful to see. Am I concerned with the drop passes moving forward? Would it help? Me being concerned about it ain't going to turn things around. They got to do it. I mean, it sucks. You want more consistency. They are young, but catch the freaking ball. You're a professional wide receiver. And it's not just the perfect ones like Watson had, right? It's even the off bit throws that are a bit off, a little bit behind. Like, yeah, they're tough, but you're paid to do that. I don't know what to tell anybody other than these guys got to find consistency. And I thought last week it was very promising in Chicago. The only drop they had was that one Dobbs drop. And you thought, okay, here we go. We're kind of hitting our stride. More drops tonight. And that's just inconsistency rearing its ugly head. And the one thing I know that makes that go away is continuing to play these guys. Let them get out there, get live reps, get, in the flow of the game, and hopefully get that corrected. Because it doesn't matter how many times you sit there post-practice on the jugs machine. It's never the same as it is in a game. They got to play. They got to continue to play. Mimsy, what's up, man? Bears choke robbed of us an all-time Minnesota choke. Yeah, but, as a Packers fan, I can enjoy either one. Clearly, as a Packers fan this year, it would have been nice if the Bears did us solid The fact that they even got that game to overtime is a freaking miracle, though. I mean, let's be honest. Jason, is Miami something to worry about? You mean as a concept? I kid. Yeah, they're playing very, very well. And I don't just mean today. I know they they played well against somebody, but they've been playing very well since Tua got back. And their defensive line has really improved. This is not going to be an easy game on Thursday night. This is a very talented team coming to Lambeau. They've got weapons out the wazoo. They got a quarterback pulling the trigger, and they got a defense that's given a lot of teams problems here over the stretch of the last 3 or 4 weeks. So is it something to worry about? If you like to worry about the Green Bay Packers, yes, it is. Sergeant Dan, how are you, man? So good to meet you the other day. Awesome meetup on Saturday, Nags. Awesome win today. Go Pack Go. Thanks so much, man. Thanks for the support. Really appreciate you. Patrick, how are you? Thanks for the super chat. Brooks seemed to be the most consistent resetting the line and scrimmage in the backfield. Want more of him in the second half of games, closing it out with fresher legs. Yeah, Patrick, I had mentioned that a little bit ago. The one play in particular where he reset the line of scrimmage and it didn't let McCaffrey out the door on the perimeter. I thought Brooks played a good overall game today, no doubt about it. Braden, what's going on? Butterfingers Quay, he played better, but the drops. He's a linebacker. He's on defense. I'm not surprised he dropped the ball. He also had a great tackle for loss. He also had another great quarterback hit on a blitz that caused a hurried throw, which led to a turnover. Like, man, I get it. Quay doesn't make all the plays, but he made plays today. Jacob, what's going on, man? Thanks for the super chat. Thoughts on Quay? Sack and drop pick, not bad. I mean, that's what I was just talking about, Jacob. I thought he had a good game overall. Is he great? Nope. Never has been, never will be. But, yeah, he played a good game. Am I concerned with the passing game? No. I mean, they were inconsistent today. There's no doubt about that. But as much as the 49ers were missing, they still have good players, and they still have a decent scheme, and they did some things to cause problems for the Packers, especially up front in the second half. They did a really nice job with the rush lanes. So, yeah, no, it's never going to be perfect, and it's never going to be like, oh, he's just throwing for 300 yards, and they're got multiple receivers with 100 yards a game, etc. But everybody catches a touchdown. Man, it's not Madden. It ain't the way it works. Dustin, what's going on, man? We finished with both feet today. Yes, they did. 100%. Tulio, any chance Jair is back Thursday? I'd be very surprised. I know he mentioned to Matt Schneidman that he's dealing with a PCL injury. I think the fact that they didn't shut him down this week would suggest that hopefully he's back sooner rather than later, but I would be surprised if he's back for this Thursday night. Hopefully he's back for next Thursday night against Detroit. I think that's probably the hope. But I'd be surprised if he's out there on Thanksgiving evening. By the way, first 100-yard rusher against San Francisco in 55 games. God damn! It's well spotted, David. Well spotted indeed. Could have played a little smarter before the half. 10 more yards. They could have kicked a field goal, but 3 long passes and ended up with nothing. Thoughts? Matt LaFleur is aggressive. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't as a coach, right? Like, he sees that play where Watson gets open and he has a touchdown that goes through his hands. And then the next play, the one to Melton, I don't mind that one either. That's a decent play. He's open. He's maybe a little bit better throw from Love. The third one I thought was maybe not egregious, but a little too aggressive. But, man, again, if he turtles up and say he tries to play the short game, right, and go for the field goal, and they don't get it, right, and then they end up having to punt, and then everyone's grousing about how he's not aggressive enough. He didn't try for it or something along those lines, right? I get the concern, as it were, but, man, I don't mind my coach being aggressive. There are times when I think, yeah, you got to take the points. But there at the end of the half, he thought they had something, and they damn near did. So, yeah, I hear you, though. I definitely hear you. Oh, Dustin, thanks so much, man. Let me know how you like the scotch. I most certainly will, and I cannot thank you enough. Thank you again. Really appreciate the gift, man. Thomas, how are you? Starting to think Love is just a gamer. Wouldn't be surprised if Love balls out in crunch time later on. Also, let's bring back the play action, bootleg action. I couldn't agree more. I've been wondering about that. And they do so little under center now. It's like I would love them to get Jacobs going on the stretch run and then have him boot out. That's the old school Shanahan stuff. That's like Mike Shanahan style. I think Jordan would be insanely productive in that type of approach. But, Matt and the company across the street, they have a very different way of going about things. I'm with you, though. I'd absolutely love to see it. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out after the Packers game, chatting it up. I'll be back with some good, bad, and the ugly later tonight. That'll be up on the channel here. And I'll be back with Packers Daily tomorrow. Patreon members, Care of the G Club members, because of the condensed week, happy hour will be tomorrow night. The information is already up on the pages, so make sure you check that out. Packer Transplants will be Tuesday night. Be sure to tune into that. And then we'll be live, watch party. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate everybody. Go have some good times here on this Sunday night after a big Packers victory. And then tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.